the meeting with the president, and as he said, it was a productive meeting focused on a place of shared admiration and love, which is New York City, and the need to deliver affordability to New Yorkers.
Hey guys, my name is Modi and you are welcome to Modi Speaks. Guys, we are popping the popcorn for what might be the most delicious political faceplant since Hillary's concession pizza. We're talking about the viral Oval Office love fest between President J. Trump, the Lion of America First, and Zohran Mamdani, the Muslim socialist mayor-elect of New York City, who just got cooled in the act of grown-up governance. Zohran Mamdani. Kwame. Guys, that is an African name, but anyway, I'm referring to the same man who has been calling Trump a fascist every chance he got during his underdog mayoral run, okay? The same Mamdani who promised to tax whiter neighborhoods into oblivion, defund the police, and turn the Big Apple into a mini Venezuela. Well, yesterday, he walked into the Oval Office, all smiles and handshakes, sucking up to the same man he once demonized like a bad ex at a family reunion. Well, Donald Trump, always the deal maker, plays the gracious host. But underneath all that, he was conducting a brutal takedown. Guys, without further ado, let us just roll the clip.
I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Donald Trump is the goat, guys. Zohran Mamdani tried to spin one of his meaningless word salad, which he used to deceive the Democrats. He was dodging the question harder than somebody trying to get picked in gym class, okay? Simple question. Are you affirming that you believe that Trump is a fascist? Oh, I've spoken about... Come on, man. Come on. Stop all that deflection. It is a yes or no question. And I like the fact that Donald Trump graciously called his BS. Yeah, Trump basically handed him permission to own his own words. That is what Trump did. And that was when he cowardly accepted that was what he said. Okay? And he said yes, which is wild because he's literally sitting in front of the man he's calling a fascist. They're having a normal conversation. Trump is the person encouraging him to speak freely. If that is fascism, then my microphone is a dictator. Guys, this brief moment perfectly exposes the problem. Democrats throw around big dramatic labels, okay? But when they are asked to back them up in person, they fold like a lawn chair at a barbecue. Because the second they are not on Twitter or surrounded by people who agree with them verbatim, the confidence disappears. And honestly, Donald Trump saying, go ahead, say it, shows way more confidence than Mamdani's entire paragraph-long word salad. Trump took the heat. He shrugged and he said, let's move on. Mamdani needed a 5-minute warm-up speech just to repeat a talking point that is in fact meaningless at the end of the day.
Why did you fly here? Aren't trains greener?
I'll use every form of transit, and I want to make sure that they're all affordable in New York City, and that's why making buses fast and free is a centerpiece of our campaign.
That was a beautiful question. Did you see how Mamdani suddenly looked like somebody just, unplugged his Wi-Fi? It was hilarious to witness, guys. This man has spent years and years preaching lower emissions, greener travel sustainability, do better for the climate. But the second he needs to get from New York City to Washington, D.C., he chooses the most non-green option available. The hypocrisy is chef's kiss. It reminds me of how all those billionaires flew private planes to listen to Greta Thunberg give a speech on climate change. None of those billionaires came by boat or by train or even trekked to the destination. They all flew to that climate change summit. And also, they flew back to their luxury mansions at the end of the summit. Yet, they get on the internet the next day to preach about how we need to save the climate by reducing carbon emissions and how the sea levels are rising, even though their luxury homes are located on beachfront. The hypocrisy is staggering, guys. If trains are good enough for the country, but not good enough for Zohran Mamdani, that tells you everything you need to know. Democrat leaders love rules for everybody else, but not for themselves, okay? Reusable straws for you, carbon guilt for you, solar panels for you. But then, when they have to travel, suddenly, flying is a complicated issue. Meanwhile, if a Republican took that same flight, Mamdani would be on Twitter within 5 minutes, calling it an environmental catastrophe in all caps. And the funniest part is that from Washington, D.C. to New York is literally one of the easiest train rides in the United States of America. You get on, you sit, and then you get off. Boom! Climate saved. But no, climate virtue signaling apparently expires at 30,000 feet in the air. It is like every time he opens his mouth about environment, a plane ticket suddenly materializes in his hands. It doesn't make sense. This moment pretty much proves the point Republicans have been making for years. If the people who preach climate rules don't even follow them, why should anybody take their policies seriously? Green for thee, gas turbine jet engine for me.
We talked a number of times about it on the campaign, was shifting the tax burden for property taxes from what he called minority communities to white-based communities and putting more taxes on white people. I also noticed that in your acceptance speech you didn't mention anything about America or Christians or white people in general, and so I didn't know if that was one of the policies that you guys had spoken about.
We focused on affordability. We focused on the cost of living crisis. What I will say is that I am very much interested in property tax reform because what we see right now in New York City is a system that is so inequitable that it can't even stand up in court.
Guys, I want you to understand that this man did not frame his statement on wealth classes. He did not frame it on income brackets, okay? And he did not frame it on property value tiers, okay? He literally framed it by race. That is the definition of racism. Negative treatment based on skin color. He blatantly said he was going to shift property taxes from minority neighborhoods onto white neighborhoods. And then when he was asked to clarify, he responds with the most word-juggled, overcooked, politically seasoned nonsense you have ever heard. Now, if a Republican ever said they wanted to raise taxes on any racial group, okay, that politician's career would be over. It will be gone before lunch, vaporized, reduced to atoms. This is a guy who claims to fight discrimination, yet he proposes tax policy based on racial categories. But the truth is that I'm not even mildly surprised at Zohran Mamdani's deflections, lies, hypocrisy, and all of that word salad answers he is giving, okay? He is a Muslim and also he is a socialist. His Muslim side has equipped him with the act of taqiyya, which is the act of deception and lies to achieve a particular goal. And yes, he has achieved that goal because currently he is the mayor of New York. And his socialist side is made up of empty promises. Every time a politician starts talking about democratic socialism, collective ownership, or redistributing wealth, everyone who has paid attention to the real world immediately has flashbacks of Venezuela or Cuba, the USSR, or any of the 20+ countries where these ideas were tried and backfired so hard, the economy basically caught on fire. Politicians like Mamdani act like socialism is some new cutting-edge idea, when it is actually one of the most historically failed systems on the planet. If these policies get pushed through in New York, the city might want to invest in life jackets because the economy will be sinking fast. Socialism promises one thing and then delivers something totally different. They promise you, oh, we're gonna help the poor, and then the reality, the poor stay poor. The middle class disappears, and then the wealthy move to Florida within 15 minutes. It promises you, we are creating equality, but the reality, everybody becomes equally broke. They promise, we're going to make things fair, but the reality, you have long lines, shortages, high taxes, zero innovation, and a government that plays monopoly with your paycheck. Venezuela is the perfect example. One of the richest countries in South America, tons of natural resources. Then they tried socialism, and the whole economy collapsed like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Inflation hit millions of %. People fled the country. Basic goods disappeared from shelves, and the government somehow acted surprised every step of the way. New York is pushing similar ideas, and we already know how the movie is going to end. But I genuinely think that New York should be nervous, because when somebody like Zohran Mamdani pushes these socialist-style policies extra taxes, redistribution, government expansion, equity fees, endless programs. It sounds nice on paper, guys, but economically, okay, it is like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a sledgehammer. Every time a politician goes down that road, businesses leave, jobs shrink, taxes rise, the cost of living explodes, and the people who were supposed to be helped actually get hurt the most. You can only tax white neighborhoods for so long before they move. And if they move, the tax base crashes and everybody else pays the price. That is pure economic self-sabotage. Capitalism works because it rewards reality, not fantasy. And I'm not saying that capitalism is the best, okay? I'm not saying that it is perfect, but it creates innovation. It rewards hard work. It gives people options, and it actually lifts people out of poverty. Every major invention that changed your life, your phone, your internet, your vaccines, your cars, your computers, your electricity, all of them came from free market incentives, not government committees drinking coffee and writing manifestos. Capitalism builds, then socialism, promises, and history shows that promises don't keep the lights on. Mamdani knows this, that this is a dead end, okay? And that is why his answers sound so nervous and so vague and so full of buzzwords. Because deep down, even he knows that New York cannot afford socialist experiments. The economy cannot sustain endless redistribution. And the taxpayers are not going to bankroll fantasy economics forever. Politicians can pretend like socialism is noble, but the outcomes always catch up. Venezuela tried it, Cuba tried it, Eastern Europe tried it, New York has even dipped its toes in it before, and it never ends well. But as always, guys, these are my thoughts and my opinions. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, but do so respectfully. Also, if you're not subscribed to this channel, honestly, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe to the channel. Like and share this video to keep people informed, and consider joining my membership or supporting the channel in any way that you can. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one. For now, peace.